Alright guys, TouchGrabby back again today. Hope you're enjoying your day so far, and it is only day 2 of the official CDL 2021 season that began yesterday on the 14th of September. Today is the 15th, and already we have 3 roster confirmations already. Yesterday, Dashy to the Huntsman was confirmed, and just now, Atlanta FaZe have confirmed that Arcitys will be joining their starting lineup as the 4th. Minnesota also confirmed that squad. That was going to be this video, but I will delay that one for tomorrow, because Atlanta FaZe is certainly the biggest bombshell of the night, and really the team which definitely has the most potential to shake up the entire CDL and dominate tournaments, to be honest, because this team on paper, in my opinion, is the scariest team in the entire CDL. You guys might disagree, but FaZe are not messing around here at all, and well, acquiring Arcitys, formerly of the Chicago Huntsmen, and I imagine a lot of maybe Huntsman fans are not necessarily too happy to see him go, especially given the team he is now joining that, well, is the second gold squad, I suppose, that has been confirmed. The other one, you could say, is the Dallas Empire, Crimsix, Hukeli, Shotzi, which was never going to be anything different, of course, the reigning world champions. Let's hop into this one. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new. As always, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for 32,000 subscribers as well. Still about 60% of the people watching my videos over the last month are not subscribed, so that's one of you. Maybe you didn't even realize YouTube algorithm doing its thing and recommending all the videos. That would be greatly appreciated. Helps you keep up to date and all that good stuff. FaZe say this then, so MattG, they officially released MattG, the oldest player in the league. They say this just because I think he looks old. I think he's only like 23 or something, but yeah, wisdom, teamwork, and immense amount of kindness, all this kind of stuff. They released Major MattG. They also released Priester, who then went on to join the Minnesota Rocker as well. So Priester, of course, an interesting player to drop from the team. Certainly makes sense though. Like Sypien and Abisi obviously are going to be the two that you want to build around. Then you've got Celium as well, like one of the most versatile players in the league, one of the most clutch players in the league. I mean, just what a squad this is on paper, right? And how well FaZe really dominated this past season. But what I suppose FaZe were lacking last season, you could say, especially when you look to the World Championship, they won a lot of events and they made grand finals and they won the actual season on the whole. But when they got to grand finals, they would often fall short. They didn't seem to have that clutch factor that could get them over the line, the likes of what the Huntsmen and the Dallas Empire had, of course, with Crimsix and Clayster, those kind of veteran players, to get them over that final hump, I suppose, and actually win these events. So certainly understandable to me that Priester and MattG are the ones to depart. Sypien and Abisi are the scariest duo, I think, in the entire game with the SMGs in hand. Abisi or Simp, you can make cases for both of these players to be the best player in the game, not only the best SMG player. Then you've got Celium, as I said, an absolute Iceman this season, can do it with any gun, like super composed under pressure as well. All these 3 guys are just such a phenomenal core 3 that even with a guy as talented and as versatile as Priester on your team, you know, you can't really keep him around if you want to bring in a main assault rifle instead, which is what they decide to do. Minnesota Rocker confirmed this team attached and MattG going on to this squad. We're going to talk about this one though in more depth in tomorrow's video. So here we go. Atlanta FaZe confirm it. Destiny has arrived in 4 versus 4. And it's teaming up with the Tiny Terrors just in time for Cold War. Welcome to Atlanta FaZe, Arcitys, the final boss. So the confirmation is here. I like how they changed the logo at the bottom right corner of the screen. Actually, I didn't even notice that when he was playing, a highlight for the Huntsman this season. And well, Arcitys has been such a great player over the last couple of seasons, and this definitely makes a lot of sense as a move, right? Reuniting part of the E-United squad from the 2018 days, 2019 days that won the CDL World Championship in 2019 during the Black Ops 4 season. So yes, Arcitys joins this squad. He is going to be the main AR on this team. Arcitys is definitely one of the greatest players in the game that we've seen over the last couple of seasons. And as he says in this tweet that we're about to look at here, he hasn't been able to play the role that he's been most comfortable in, right? Typically, especially in the 5v5 environment, he's been like second AR, I suppose, to Clayster on those last couple of teams, and this season second AR to Formal, right? Now he's getting into this role that he wants to play as the main assault rifle on the team, in addition to having Celium, arguably the best flex player in the game, or like, great Iceman, and then you've got Sypien and Abisi, 2 of the fastest and most talented players in the entire game. I mean, this squad on paper is just absolutely unbelievable. They've got Sypien as the sniper. They are not messing around at all, going straight for the throat, and if there's one team right now which I believe is the scariest on paper, it could be this one, right? And the Huntsman could look back on this move, getting rid of Arcitys, and it's not necessarily that they got rid of him. We'll have a look at this tweet in a second, saying that, like, given the situation it goes to 4v4, he wanted to go elsewhere to actually be able to run this main assault rifle role. But then again, maybe they could have worked something out to keep him, but Scump and Fobble are always going to be the duo in that squad, so that's kind of how it is. It makes sense for Arcitys to want to team up with his former teammates in Sypien and Abisi that won the World Championship not too long ago, reuniting the core of that squad. I mean, that squad was just such a good team. They won the playoffs, then into the World Championships as well. Yes, Clayster and Pristini were also on that squad, but replacing Clay and Pristini with Celium, of course, in this 4v4 environment is just unbelievable on paper. paper. These are the clips of that one end. They won the world championship. Arcitys, as you can see right here, Facento was the coach at the time. This is Simp, this is Abizi. This was the squad. Another image right here, as you can see. Arcitys with Simp and Co in arm. You can barely even see Abizi here right behind this, but you get the picture, right? He obviously wanted to team with them. I imagine they wanted to team with him. Maybe they had other options. I mean, Clayster, I think, talked about how he potentially wanted to go and team with these guys, but maybe due to like contract situations of FaZe couldn't necessarily afford to get him out of his contract over with the, well, from the Dallas Empire guys over there, looking like he's going to go to the subliners more and more likely as it stands right now. This is what Arcitys said the other day. What a sad year to end, man. I love my teammates, grateful for them all, glad through everything that happened, what online roster changes individually, thought I was screwed running an MP5 from the start, not being a main, but besides the fact I'm glad I could play for the Huntsman, so definitely looking to become a main assault rifle again. That's one of the reasons why he stepped away from this Huntsman squad, and man, oh man, this team is just something else on paper. As Arcitys says, E United is somewhere punching a wall. This tweet as well, of course. Let's compare this then to the other squad. So the team is going to be, as we said, Arcitys, Simp, Abizi, and Selim. They really have it all right figured out on this team. Arcitys in the role that he wants to run, being that main assault rifle on the squad, and we have to see how the meta, of course, develops going into next season. There's the potential of a couple of ARs on the map, potential of 3 SMGs. Either way it goes, it's probably going to work out very nicely for the Atlanta FaZe, right? Arcitys in the main AR position makes sense if he wants to play this kind of in-game leadership type role, commanding the troops from a back. I mean, like, how easy is that really? If you're a main AR and you have Simp and Abizi as your SMGs to kind of clear out lanes, like they, in my opinion, are the greatest SMG duo in the game. Octane said it at some length in his recent Q&A video, how he was like, yeah, if there's 2 players I want to team with, he said Simp and Abizi immediately, right? He was talked about his potential God squad. Simp and Abizi were guaranteed the first 2, and I imagine a lot of main ARs would say that, and Arcitys being given the privilege here to be able to team with them certainly makes sense given the success they have had on the E United squad in previous seasons as well. So that's the core of the team. Then you've got Selim as well to fill all the gaps, gets along of course well with Simp and Abizi. And as I said earlier in the video, the problem with that team was that yes, they would get to the grand finals, they would be so good against a number of teams, and then be so good in their like game 5 clutch factor and their search and destroy. That's not a surprise, but when it came down to composure, when it came down to time to win, they couldn't quite get over the line. And teams like Dallas and teams like Huntsman could do that more efficiently when they got to the grand finals. I think the record for FaZe in grand finals was something like 2-6, 2-5, something pretty woeful like that given how good a team they were. They lost a number of them in a row, especially the domination that they had to face against the Dallas Empire when they went to the grand finals of the World Championships. They certainly need someone who can kind of command the troops and get them over that final hurdle, and that's why I feel like Dallas Empire was so good, because they had Clayster, they had Crimsix to keep the young guys, I suppose, in check on their team and keep their heads in the game and say the right things that need to be said. Arcitys has been around a few years now, certainly longer than these other players on the squad. He's won championships with different teams in different games and definitely can provide that kind of veteran leadership, kind of you know, fatherly figure, I suppose, on the team that Clayster, I suppose, provided back in the Black Ops 4 days. Arcitys, if he manages to provide that and keep the guys, you know, calm under pressure, which I think he definitely can do. He definitely has that element to his character and his personality, but he's also a very good clutch player in his own right. So I think for a number of reasons, this team is just fantastic. It ticks all the boxes to me. And if I was an organization owner, and I think even going back to Octane's like Q&A video, he basically said if he had to choose like a God squad, he was like, yeah, Simp and Abizi as my SMGs, then I need a flex, you know, Selim was one of the considerations, Arcitys with the other consideration. So he mentioned all 4 Atlanta FaZe members in his consideration for his God squad. I think that just says really what a good team this is. You can compare it to some degree to the Huntsman. I mean, Dashy, Scump, Formal, Envoy, that's a great squad on paper. The Dallas Empire, which has been confirmed as well, being of course Crimsix, Hukali, Shotzi, and a Minnesota Rocket team of Attach, Accuracy, Priester, and Major Maniac, as it is confirmed right now. So these are the current squads that have been confirmed. To me, Atlanta FaZe is the scariest of all of them. There's definitely potential, I think, for the Huntsman and the Empire to be super strong if everything works out in their favor, but I think really whatever happens this season, Atlanta FaZe are going to be one of the greatest contenders, and well, a great chance, I think, to win a lot of events this season and maybe dominate the season, to be honest, because there's no real team that I can see right now which on paper matches this team in terms of pure talent, in terms of talent in all roles, in all possible metas, I suppose. We'll definitely talk about potential power rankings and where things might match up in the coming days, but certainly to me right now, Atlanta FaZe become the team to beat already with this one-person change. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like if you did, subscribe if you are new. As always, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.
If no one had a team, what would be your dream squad going into Cold War? Simp, Abizi, and I need a flex. maybe Alec or Cell. I don't know if Alec, like, he ran a sub this year and he was really, really good, and I enjoy talking to Alec. He has a good game sense. So maybe Alec or Cell, I guess that would be the best that I could come up with there. That'd be pretty gross. Let me know what you guys think. That's a pretty gross team.